Seriously, guys, this is like 300, 500 mils of food. I do have one thing for that. Mini tahini bottle. Perfect little trail companion, trail amigo. We all need a trail amigo in our life. I want to test the Super Gordo. Yes, let's do it. Taco, the Ocho. Guys, I finally made it up to Mount Mitchell in North Carolina. I've been in the area for a long time, just haven't made it up, but it was beautiful this morning. And welcome to another installment of Trail Tested. Yes, so you, me, and the Blue Ridge Mountains and these beautiful rhododendrons back here are gonna trail test a recipe that I have never tested before. I've got a pretty good idea how it's gonna come out, but you never know until you try it. So we're gonna do this together, and what we are testing today, what we are trail testing today, is a Gordo taco. Yes, if you've been following the channel, you know that I've been making a lot of tacos this year, and for good reason. They're good. They're really good. You're never gonna have a bad time with a taco, and they're also really great options for hiking, backpacking, and also, guys, if you are watching this as a thru hiker, if you're watching this in your tent somewhere on the AT, you're somewhere in California or Oregon right now in a budget motel resting, this is the recipe for you. It's gonna be tasty. I think it's gonna be pretty bulletproof. It's definitely worth a test. Let's get cooking and take a look at our ingredients for our Gordo taco. And what we are cooking on today is a MSR Whisper Light and a titanium pot. Let's do it. Here are our main three ingredients for our Gordo taco, the Trio Amigos. So we have, let's start here, we have some instant rice, we have some freeze-dried or dehydrated flaked beans, not to be confused with dried beans. Dried beans will not work for this recipe. You're never gonna be able to cook those up in the time that you need to be able to have a trail meal. And we have some sort of corn product. Today I do have Jiffy cornbread mix, which is mostly just cornmeal anyway. You could also use quick cooking grits, polenta, cornmeal, or masa. And of course, we have some of your favorite tortillas. So what we are looking here to test here today is that how much of each one of these, and I want to keep it really simple, and then also how much flavoring to add with salt and chili powder, and then the perfect ratio of how much water one taco or one portion takes. So that's what we're testing here today, to put all these together for a really nice, filling, easy trail meal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a 1/4 cup of our Trio in our bowl so we can take a look at what that looks like and have a starting point for our seasoning. I'm gonna go a little bit light because we can always add more and then cook it up and see how we're doing. So 1/4 cup of corn product, 1/4 cup of flaked freeze-dried dehydrated beans, 1/4 cup of instant rice. I'm gonna go for about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to start. And 1 tablespoon of chili powder to see if that can be enough to flavor up our Gordo. So here's what we've got. I'm gonna add 8 ounces of water to our pot, get that boiling, add this, and see if that is enough. We are at a little bit of elevation today, but boiling up pretty quick for those 8 ounces. And let's add the whole fiesta. breaking up any clumps, turn down our heat. Hydrating up really quickly. And for this first test, I want to keep it on the heat for just a minute to be able to cook the cornmeal, the Jiffy mix, and the beans just slightly. But the instant rice just needs to hydrate. So kind of dialing in this next step of the process here. And I can already tell that it's pretty dry, so our items are soaking up quite a bit of what we've got going on here. Smelling good, that's good. So I'm gonna turn off the burner and I'm gonna add 2 more ounces of water and then let that sit for a few minutes so our rice can hydrate. We do eventually want this thick and not too runny. We also don't want it too thick. We want everything to be cooked and we want everything to be hydrated. All right, so I'm gonna put a lid on that and come back in a few minutes to check on that rice and check on our whole mix. And while this is sitting and hydrating, it's a perfect time to toast your tortillas. And I will keep saying this until you guys do it. Toast your tortillas, please. Bread is not toast. Toast is not bread. Toasting your tortillas gives you this. Gives you color, gives you texture. But please, 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 even if you're inside, but especially outside, don't just eat them out of the bag. They are bored. They are tired. They maybe been in your pack for 4 or 5 days. They need to get woken up. And you might be saying, oh, I don't have enough time. I'm super busy on the trail. Got so much to do. So I'm just so busy. You have 20 or 30 seconds to toast up a tortilla, and it's completely worth your time because that's going to give you a great layer of flavor and just wake everything up. Love it. Okay, this has been sitting for about 10 minutes. Let's check it out. Okay, yep, looks like a bunch of hiker ingredients in there. So first off, let's do a quick little taste on the rice, because that's what I'm most concerned about. The cornmeal and the beans cook up really, really quickly. Yep, I think that little bit of extra water is really helpful. And it's just going to continue to hydrate as it sits too. So let's put this in a tortilla, see how it tastes. It is a beautiful day for a taco. Just gonna load this up. Wow. And also what I'm noticing here is this is plenty for 2+ tacos, 2 to 3 tacos. Depending on how hungry bear you are, you could just eat this with no tortilla too. Oh, I love that toasted tortilla, come on. Yes. All right, look at that. Depending on how you like it as far as thickness, I think it could be in that 8 to 10 ounce range. Also, again, this is going to continue to hydrate as it sits, and a lot of other factors too, as far as elevation, boil off, overall temperature, how many seconds or how many minutes you boiled it before. So there is a little bit of flexibility here, but it's in the tortilla, it's a taco. So let's give it a try. And what I'm looking for here is, and really trying to test, is the overall flavor. So we added some chili powder, remember, and a little bit of salt. So do those flavors taste good in here? Do we need more? Do we need less? Wow, that's a really, really hearty bite. The first reaction is salt is pretty darn spot on. Salt is very, very subjective. So you can easily add less if you are trying to be mindful of that, or if you are sensitive to that, or you could add a little bit more, especially if you've had a big day on the trail. And as far as chili powder, pretty darn close. I could maybe go for a little bit. For the sake of the recipe though, 1 tablespoon is pretty easy. Yeah, that is really good. So as I'm munching on this, I kind of want a little bit of spice, like I do like spicy, or a little bit of freshness, a little bit of acid. So I do have one thing for that. I do have one thing for that. Mini tahini bottle. Yes. If you're not familiar with tahini, it is a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of citric acid, a little bit of spice. Perfect little trail companion, trail amigo. We all need a trail amigo in our life. Yeah. That little bit of zip really, really did it. So it seems like round 1 was a success. Sometimes I've tested recipes for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds and still don't get it. And for some of you guys out there who don't know some of my back history, this was my job. I used to be a research chef. Yes, I'm a classically trained chef. I've worked at a ton of restaurants and been a culinary director, developed a whole lot of recipes. But for a number of years, I was a research chef. So I got to test and develop food products for the grocery stores, like ice creams and salad dressings and alcoholic beverages and smoothies, all kinds of cool stuff. So I got to test food in a test kitchen and then help companies put them out on the shelf. So this is something that I really, really like doing to make sure that the recipes work for me, but also for you guys out there when you're taking them on the trail. So this works really, really well, but there's other thing I want to test with this Gordo taco. I want to test the Super Gordo. Yes, let's do it. All right, we are back with our Gordo taco. So we have our instant rice, corn product, cornmeal, flaked beans, salt, and chili powder, okay? And the one thing that I do notice about this recipe as it is, it's a little bit light on protein. We are really, really good on carbs, but it could use a little bit extra protein to bulk that up, especially for those longer days. So we're gonna add a little bit of textured vegetable protein, TVP, and some dried eggs. And I think to keep this consistent, we're gonna go 1/4 cup of each in there and cook it up and see how that reacts. From previous experience cooking up both the powdered eggs and the TVP, both of these take quite a bit of water, and we're adding more dry ingredients, so it's definitely going to need more than 8 or 10 ounces. So I'm actually probably going to start with, oh man, I want to start with 16. I'm going to start with 12. So we can always add more. So there's our 8. And as you can see, I didn't really clean my pot because it doesn't really matter. We're just boiling water and adding pretty much the same ingredients back to it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Taco, the ocho. And we are going to see what happens when we add this super fiesta into here. I want to go to a super fiesta. That sounds fun. And if you're not familiar with the powdered eggs, they can clump up on you. So once you get them in the pot, make sure to stir them up, break them up as you need. Again, mind our heat. And this recipe, you can cook up on any camp stove in any pot, which is pretty nice. Bottle's hydrating up really well. Again, we have 12 ounces for our batch here. And I'm going to give this a taste right now because I want to test. We did add more ingredients. Do we need more chili powder or more salt? Salt is doing okay. Personal preference, I'd go for a little bit more chili powder. And again, with how thick this is right now, I'm concerned that we're not going to have enough water. So I'm going to add a couple more ounces. All of these things in here are dry. They are wanting moisture. Just like you guys out there, when you are dehydrated, you want moisture and you soak it up. And now that we have multiple in here, it's going to need a little bit more water. All right. So we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes, come back and check on it. Here we go. Ooh boy, nice and thick. I'm glad I added that extra water. Threw a little hot sauce on there. Looking pretty darn good. Throw a little extra tahini. Nice. All right, let's give this Super Gordo a try. All right, Super Gordo. More protein, more flavor, more action. Seriously, guys, this is like 300, 500 mils of food. If this doesn't fill you up with a couple tortillas, I don't know what will. Good flavor. I'm liking that I added that 2 tablespoons for overall mass here. Rice is hydrated well. Beans are cooked, eggs are cooked, TVP is cooked too, and hydrated. Again, this is going to continue to hydrate as it sits. Get that. So you might need to add another little blurb or another little ounce to make sure it doesn't turn into concrete. But that is pretty darn good. Again, throw that in a couple tortillas. That's really, really tasty. I really like this Super Gordo one too. And nice to have an option for a little bit more bulked up. Definitely has a couple special order items, but you could easily order that and have a resupply waiting for you at the post office. And also with this, you could take this to Super Muy Bueno Gordo and add an avocado. If you haven't taken an avocado on the trail, it is one of the amazing luxuries you can give yourself. Buy a rock hard avocado, put it in the brain of your backpack, wait 3 or 4 days, forget about it, and then pop it out by the river or on the Vista or wherever and add it to your Super Gordo taco. Be some great calories, great flavor. You could also obviously add some cheese too. So Super Muy Bueno Gordo con queso. That sounds awesome too. Maybe, shocking, a vegetable. Like some fajita veggies, a bell pepper, a zucchini. I don't know, whatever you want. Jalapeno, that could be really, really good. But wow, yeah, as I'm eating this, this is great. And I know it's gonna keep filling up my belly as it hydrates inside me. So anyway, thanks for coming along for Trail Tested. This is a fun part about the process for Outdoor Eats, is sharing the process with you guys. We have over 300 trail tested recipes on the website right now. A lot of great options for thru hikers, 2-night backpacking trips, car camping, bike packing, all kinds of stuff. We've got you covered because I want you to be able to eat well when you get out there on the trail. And now I get to enjoy this taco filling, these trail tacos in this beautiful, beautiful spot. And that's also what it's all about. Get out there. Boca boca. Guys, I finally made it to the top of Mount Mitchell in North Carolina. I've been in the area for a long time, just haven't made it up, but man, it was beautiful this morning. And welcome to another section of Trail Tested. Yes, if you've never watched a